the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts. They're nuts. They know nothing.
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome, my degenerates. The rest of your life starts right now on Market Mania. No bullshit approach to all financial markets, including metals, political betting, Bitcoin, and the largest casino in the world, the U.S. stock market. Today on Market Mania, we will get to your bag. The Shroom boom might be coming. Bumble IPO, we're going to have to swipe right on that. And the largest and oldest, or the oldest bank in America or the world or something, apes into Bitcoin. That's interesting. And top story, precious metals. Yeah, baby. Heavy metal show. We have special guest, Jack MINDAK. Is that how we're going? Is that how we're doing it today?
MINDAK Jack.
Sure. MINDAK Jack.
MINDAK Jack. Market Mania partner. We got a metals partner. You know Tony, the producer, had something to do with it. Jack, take it away. Tell us a little bit about the enterprise you run and your thoughts on metals.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on. Well, first of all, I'm a precious metals dealer, and I have been for about a decade now. And obviously, as a dealer, I've always encouraged people to get into precious metals. I think it should be a healthy chunk of your diversified portfolio. But what we're seeing recently, from March of 2020, from the COVID onset here in America and throughout the world, carrying all the way through into now 2021, is absolutely unprecedented demand for physical precious metals. And I thought it might have waned a little bit after last March. That was just maybe a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction in the physical market, but it's basically stayed in place now throughout the rest of the year. And at the beginning of this year, with the new administration coming in, we have seen absolutely record demand for precious metals. No dealer in the country has anything on the shelves. I certainly don't in my store. I sold out of everything. I've been sold out for a couple of weeks now, and I don't see an end to this anytime soon. I think if you want to talk ape season, this is King Kong season for precious metals right now.
So it's really like that, and you just don't. I mean, everybody came in and bought up what you had, and then you can't get more, or why can't the dealers just get more at this spot price I see?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how it normally works. And obviously, we want to keep stuff on hand. But yeah, I literally got cleaned out in the matter of about a week. And I have reinforcements coming. Obviously, I'm reordering as fast as I can. But when the shelves on the 6 biggest dealers in North America are empty, that means the mid-sized dealers like myself and the small guys below me, they're not getting anything either. And the market for physical metals has literally dried up. Nobody has anything right now. And like I said, I don't think we're going to see a fix for it for some time.
Why do you think that is? Just why now? Was it the same kind of thing that was moving the Bitcoin price higher, or like just the general uncertainty? Are they expecting inflation of the US dollar? Is there one force you think that really drove that this time around? Or is it really the political instability?
I don't think there's one, Brian, but I think you nailed quite a few of them in your question. I mean, the fall of the U.S. dollar, the inflation is taking hold. The U.S. dollar is weakening. We can see that happening at a quickening pace now. I think people are scared over that. I think people are scared over COVID. Obviously, any kind of unknown to them is frightening, and people run to precious metals as a safety play. And that's one reason why there's demand there. And then the incoming Biden administration, I mean, wherever you stand on the side of the political spectrum, a lot of people are fearful of what a Biden administration is going to look like financially. The country's already $28 trillion in debt. We're running $3-4 trillion annual deficits. The Federal Reserve had to step in. They now have a balance sheet of about $8 trillion because they're just buying the stuff nobody else wants to keep the whole system afloat. And so you combine all of these factors, and I think that's your recipe for record demand right now.
Absolutely.
So Tony,
sorry, Brian.
This is your episode. No, go.
I just got to say, I've been seeing on Twitter a lot of people saying that inflation is a myth. These modern monetary theorists, they think they're so damn clever because they have this fancy sounding name for modern monetary theory. I got news for you. It's the oldest monetary theory in the book. I like to call it Mugabe monetary theory because it's been tried again and again. And just look at Zimbabwe, just look at Venezuela, just look at Rome, for God's sakes. Rome fell.
That's $100 trillion. That's $100 trillion bill reference. Anybody that's I guess crypto or gold, I guess we can shake the hand over the Zimbabwe $100 trillion bill. Do you have one? You got one of those?
No. Do you have one, Jack?
No, sorry, I don't.
Be a great collector's item. But, modern monetary theorists like to say that only velocity matters in money. That's just, it's partially true. And they think they're clever enough that you can just print money to pay for everything and then tax the citizens to cover to stop the inflation, to bring the dollar back out of the system. But taxing people isn't that easy. Get a politician to run on a program of taxation and see how far that gets them. But B, the whole thing is prescriptive, or is descriptive, not prescriptive. It describes what we're looking at, but it doesn't proscribe any actual policies that we should take. And people asking, where's the inflation? Just look at housing. Just look at equities, all of the stock market assets. Look at Bitcoin. Now, Brian, you mentioned Jack, you mentioned there's a lot of money sitting on the Federal Reserve balance sheets. It's just sitting there, and when they start to wind down their balance sheets, that is going to be a tsunami of money hitting general markets. We're talking $30 a gallon of milk or more. Talking, you pull it out of the cooler, it'll be $5 more by the time you place it on the counter. This has happened so many times in history. To assume it can't happen here is pure hubris. So if you can get some precious metals, I can't recommend.
You metals boys will be right eventually, but it might not be this lifetime or the next.
It's hard being a metals guy,
man. You will be right. Once in a while, you will be right. You could be 300 years too soon, but you will be right. And I guess that brings us into topic number 2 today, because I hear this about, you want to protect the money from inflation. You want it transportable. But Bitcoin, what a great way to do that stuff. Now, we will, MINDAK Jack, you will have time to respond in just a moment. But the oldest bank? I don't know why
bank in America.
Oldest bank in America, one of the larger sized financial institutions too, $2 trillion under management or something, apes into crypto in a vague statement that they made on CNBC. Scroll down, Tony. Let's see that thing. What does it say? Mellon is proud to be the first global bank to announce plans to provide an integrated service for digital assets.
All right.
Tony, the producer, called it word salad before the show. He's damn straight right there, because this basically says, hey, guys, we're here. We're looking at it. We're going to do something. It's almost like a Justin Sun statement for Tron. Like, we're about to make an announcement soon. It's big, and it's about crypto. MINDAK Jack, what do you think about that, about this crypto adoption here, and how does it relate to the metals?
Well, I'm actually a fan of crypto. You would think as a metals guy that I'm totally anti-crypto. I'm not. I think there's room for crypto in people's portfolio. I'm a big fan of diversification. I think you got room for some metals. I think you got room for some crypto. And I think you have room for a little bit of exposure to the bubble known as the U.S. stock market, as long as you know what you're doing there. This, with Bank of New York Mellon coming on board, it just sounds like yet another validation for crypto and Bitcoin especially. When you get companies like Tesla buying $1.5 billion, the average Joe on the street takes notice of that. You get the oldest bank in the U.S. Trying to get into the crypto space. That's more validation, and we take notice of that too. So, crypto's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And, people need to, that are in my space, the old timers, the old metals guys, they need to realize this and make it part of their profile as well.
Yep. I had a MySpace. And so let me ask you, what do you think about Peter Schiff? He's always out there on the Twitter. He's shilling gold left and right, but he's been hating on Bitcoin all the way up. He's been hating all the way to the top.
I think Peter did a great job of picking up about 1 million followers on his social media pages through his hatred for crypto. So he's done a good job of selling Peter Schiff.
I got a feeling I think it's all, I agree with you. I think he did do some great marketing with that. That's his lane now. it's going to get harder and harder, by the way, to like find it. But I think you're right. I think it's like he's not arguing intellectually honestly. I think he's just trying to pump those social numbers, which whatever. So be it.
He's gaining subscribers, and maybe he's gaining a few customers for Shift Gold. Who knows?
Tony, what do you think? What do you think about that guy? He seems
I've
like a
learned a lot
carnival
from-
barker to me.
For sure. I've learned a lot from Peter Schiff. He is a smart guy, and remember, he was way out in front of the 2008 crash, calling it. People were laughing at him. He was dead on.
He's
So,
been calling
Peter's no
the
idiot.
down. He's like Zero Hedge. He just says that there's doom in the markets every day, and then when there's doom, they're like, "Hey, look at this! I called that shit." I don't know. I feel you get
Well,
like three. You get like
called
three every 10 years.
He
And if
was
you're-
unique in that he called the scope and the scale. But you're right. You can be a doom and gloomer, and eventually that asteroid's going to hit. But
I'll
he
find
was
you
a little
find
more
you five
specific.
that he called wrong. I'll get these internet. I'll find you five. But no, I know what you mean. And like, we're fighting the same battle too. By the way, like it's just, you're against government controlled money. You're against the ability to just say, all right, now there's more, and like now there's less, and this is the rate that I'll just print and loan it to you at. And like, I think everybody, we're same team. We're looking for sound money. We don't want to stash something under the mattress that's just going to lose 2% a year. Like, I get it. Same team, no violence. And speaking of the same team, we can all agree that this Bumble IPO was just fire hot for many different reasons. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
This is just the first female founder behind the dating app making market history. Bumble will debut ticker BMBL, I think. But you might want to double check that before you ape in, because I don't know. And holy cow.
That's the founder. You can tell why she
Smoke
wanted
show.
men to quit approaching her, and she wanted to set the terms. So
Trying to swipe right here. I'm trying to swipe right. Wow. A total smoke show made Bumble. Did not know that. I'm learning today too. Wish her the best of luck here. What's that valuation? I think we're looking at that beautiful woman right there is about to pick up 2.2 billion on the balance sheet, and 2.2 billion, and valuing Bumble at 7 Bs. 7 Bs. Holy shit. For those of you that don't know, Bumble, what's the deal with it? Women have to swipe. Women have to message
Right.
first.
yep, exactly.
Women. Now I understand your joke, Tony. I get it. Beautiful
Yeah.
woman. Dudes are constantly, sliding into the DMs. She's like,
That's right.
nope. I'll message you first. Not a bad idea. What do you think, Mindak? Jack, you ever bumbled? You ever been on the Bumble?
Gentlemen, I've been happily married for 10 years. I have no clue what you're talking about. I'll just sit here and smile and listen.
$7 billion worth of simps. That's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
It's all
it's
the
not
dudes,
like that.
dudes that don't want to make the first move, I guess. But dating apps have also kind of deranged society a little bit. You basically, I don't know. It's changed the dating app or changed the dating scene quite a bit. I think it's launched the MGTOW movement, and those guys get a lot of grief. But there's the 10% of dudes that do well on dating apps, and then there's everyone else just sitting there holding their dick. But if you go and buy some Bumble, maybe you'll be rich enough where you don't need dating apps anymore. I guess we'll see.
I don't know. I think it's, especially during the last year, everybody's locked in their house. There's no clubs to mix at. There's no meetups of like-minded things. You get on there, you're like, hey, you know what I like to do? Have sex. Me too. All right. No one to do it with? Great. It sounds like a good idea.
In
I
theory,
don't
that's
know.
how it is. But as you look around the world, 9 months after the shutdown, birth rates have absolutely collapsed, and our
Yeah, I guess
societies that are built around this Ponzi scheme of paying into social programs, the young paying for the old, well, that's about to collapse too in a major way, which is a good reason to buy some gold and silver and Bitcoin.
Move to an island if you have to, and just opt out.
That's right.
We will take a look at how the Bumble IPO opens the next market. Whenever we get the glance back there, you can tell us about that one. The Shroom boom. This is interesting, Tony. Take me through this. Now, we saw cannabis companies pumping. Don't know how we slept that on Market Mania, actually. But now this is sort of an interesting idea, Tony. Maybe it moves to the psychedelic companies after this.
I think people are eyeing the psychedelic companies, and I think they're going to start to see another run up themselves. The main ones in this space are this one called Compass Pathways. I'll pull up a chart here for them today. what's interesting is the mental health industry is really. Oh wow! Look at that! Look at that dildo. The mental health industry is really starting to notice the benefits of psychedelics. You've got lifelong heroin addicts that can go do one ayahuasca weekend in Mexico and come back and their life is completely changed. You've got people suffering from PTSD and depression from war that's do mushrooms and it turns their life around. The stories are near miraculous. It's just maddening, just stultifying how much people don't understand. Not all drugs are drugs. In this drug war, that the drugs keep winning the war, we have to keep fighting it. I don't know why we do this. The evidence is there. The economics are there. All that's left is the political will, and I think that's about to topple. And you're going to start to see companies like this and MMEDF really start to take off. They're both having a big pump today, looks like. So I think psychedelics are going to be a big part of our future, and I think that's a net positive for society.
MINDAK Jack, you got anything on psychedelics? We got Bumble and psychedelics for you.
Can't agree more with what Tony has to say as far as the general philosophy and the political will behind the movement in the U.S. to allow people to freely consume whatever product they want to consume and put in their own bodies. If a person is no freer to control what they put in their own bodies, they're no freer than a dog. So it's time that we move into the 21st century, get rid of these decades-old policies, and just live free and live for the future.
Love it.
Well
Plus one
said.
there. See, same team. Basically same team. The golds and the crypto guys. Basically same team. I mean, you can argue. We argue more than we should be getting along. We should be holding hands with Peter Schiff on that Twitter, and just saying like, yeah, us against the government. All right, so that's interesting. I'd like to ape into all those tickers on that list of 10. Honestly, right now,
Yeah, I'll be looking hard today.
So, Tony, if you would pull your sack out and see what you got for us in the mailbag.
All right, we got
Market Mania mailbag.
We got some good stuff today. One quick one was just what percentage of your portfolio should you have in precious metals?
I'm assuming that's directed to me, Tony?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the more the merrier. A lot of people think because I'm a dealer, if somebody walked in my store with $1 million to spend, I'd tell them to put $999,000 in the metals. That's not the case. I think a third is a good starting point for precious metals. I don't think you should have more than 50% in metals, but I think a third is a good starting point, especially given the optics of what we're working in now with a falling dollar and rising debt levels. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster when it comes to fiat currency. And what do you need to protect yourself and hedge yourself against a collapsing fiat currency? You need a hard asset. For me, it's gold and silver, along with a little crypto thrown there to make guys like Brian happy.
I'm just trying to think of what I would do to put a third into gold right now, and what the fuck I would do with it, or like
I can help.
You're gonna you want to? All right, I'm going back there. I'm somebody. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird to think about physically transporting it to me. I've had a crypto mine for 10 years. Like I've been doing this 10 years. So like it's just whenever it comes to like stuffing something in the pockets, or like you go through. I'm like always scared of the TSA checkpoint. Like nothing ever happens, but like they keep breaking you down more and more and more. Like when I was a kid, you just walk onto the plane, they give you a little pin with something sharp on it. You put on there, here's a pack of cards, kiddo. And now it's like you walk in there, they're fucking scanning my wife with some weird like turnaround micro particle, something. They can basically see her tits on the other side of it. And like, it's like, take your shoes off. Let me look through all your shit. Like, I'm just getting more and more scared. What if they find a big old, gold? What if they find gold? It's like, what the?
You just got to get creative with where you put it, Mycon. I think we've covered that on the show before.
You can easily hold $50K worth of gold in the palm of your hand. It's not like silver. Silver's big and bulky, but gold, I mean, you're talking about the size of a 50-cent piece is $2,000. So it doesn't take a whole lot jingling around in your pocket to carry a serious amount of money.
Is somebody doing what's one Bitcoin worth of gold over time? Like before it's like a speck, now it's like a sheet. And now what's 50K worth? How much is 50K worth of gold? Like 48K worth of gold, like price of Bitcoin right now. Palm of the hand, little rock?
Yeah. Yeah. You mean as far as the physical size of gold?
Yeah. Like what is it? Baseball? How much is a baseball worth?
Yeah, that
baseball
would
of gold.
A 50K pile of gold. If you were to able to round it in the size of a ball, that'd be about 50K. That's pretty close.
Baseball. So golf ball, we're looking at like 15 grand, 15
Yeah,
grand golf ball gold,
somewhere in
50K
there.
baseball, softball like 72 grand. Yeah, okay, no, all right. I guess I'm just trying to visualize. I've never like really just thought about taking it around. But
Yeah,
what's
Hershey bar is about 20K.
20K Hershey bar? That's actually good. That actually kind of hits my head somehow, like to really understand the sizing of it. But Tony, break out the note. What else we got here?
Niffy9 is asking, how likely is it that there's actually enough physical silver to back up all the paper silver? And I can tell you right now, it's not likely at all. Here's SLV. Now, SLV is at 25.13, and gold's selling for what off the store plus premium right now, Jack? Gold and silver, rather.
Yeah,
Silver,
gold is about $2,000 an ounce right now.
And what's silver going right now?
Silver's slightly over $33 an ounce.
Okay,
out the door.
so yeah, $33 out the door, but SLV is looking at 25.13. I think this is clear market manipulation. Matt Glantz hasn't agreed with me, and I'll have to bring him on another time so we can bicker about it. But the other thing is, there definitely isn't enough physical to cover all these paper contracts. It's just a big game of musical chairs. And what's worse is, if you own SLV and you want to get the underlying, as I understand it, they'll be like, sure, we'll send you your silver, but you got to pay a storage fee, you got to pay a transport fee, an insurance fee, and by the time you've paid all the fees to get the underlying, you're almost paying street or over street prices. So SLV is a big scam. Always has been, and the entire COMEX, the CFTC, exists to rig this market because, as I've been saying, SLV, the futures and derivatives on precious metals, is the bottommost point of the upside-down pyramid of our economy. So it will topple the whole thing.
Tony, the producer, not a fan of the paper silver products traded on the exchanges today. Not a fan. This
Absolutely.
man is a hodler. You're hodling the gold and the silver, on like a modern day Scrooge McDuck, if you will.
And then just got a guy, Eric Anderson, saying he's got a huge 1905 wedding violet sterling silver flatware set. The value of it, or antiques in general, hasn't increased even slightly. Will it be affected eventually by this? You've seen a lot of antiques coming in, and how is the value affected there, Jack?
Yeah, when it comes to sterling silver flatware, I mean, it's really just done by weight. Unless you can put it on eBay and find a buyer that way that wants to buy it for the antique value, most people are selling for the silver value. We'll break it up, we'll throw it on a scale, we'll weigh it out and see what it's worth, and most people are quite happy with that number by the time we're done weighing it up.
All right. You bring in old silver, it's okay. No, it's a crazy game. There's like forks. They used to make forks out of silver, I guess.
Yeah, sterling silver flat. Remember Grandma's house for Thanksgiving? She'd get it out and polish it. Nobody does that anymore, so we're seeing lots of it in the store.
All right.
It's great flatware. Doesn't rust. So.
Yeah, you got a werewolf coming. You know,
That's
you're
right.
going to need that silver shit. You know, I'm just saying. Just never know.
All right, man.
All right.
My sack is empty. Let's do it.
Tony's emptied his sack. That means that we are going to transition just seamlessly into the Market Mania pick of the day. Safety glasses on, and do your own research. This is not investment advice. MINDAK Jack's got the safety glasses too today. Look at that. For the Market Mania pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack 'em, stack 'em to the top.
Try to help you stack them to the top despite the fact that this is not investment advice. MINDAK Jack, thank you for joining us today. What is your pick of the day?
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. I'm shocked to tell you my pick of the day is physical gold and silver. You have to own the real thing. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. And they're not playing the big game in Bobby's room for paper slips of IOUs. They're playing for chips, the real McCoy. You need the gold and silver chips in your hand.
All right.
Agree.
Tony, the producer. Gotta love this show. You're just loving this show. This is how you think
yeah.
it should be every day.
That's
so
right.
What is your pick of the day?
Well, I'm actually getting out of the precious metals game, although I totally agree with Jack. I'm switching over to crypto I mentioned just briefly yesterday, Energy Web token. I think there's a lot of connections between this and some future projects that are coming around that are going to be very exciting. Tesla. So get yourself some Energy Web. I think it's a good bet.
Do your own research. Not investment advice here. But I'm going with Bitcoin because the yin to the MINDAK Jack Yang, you have to have somebody here, talking sense into these metals guys. And you know what? Again, same team. Probably should have like 1% metals. I mean, I would say, just for that disaster scenario or something. I'll give you a little bit, a couple of coins hanging around there just in case you got to buy your freedom from pirates or whatever the fuck happens. So, Bitcoin. Now, MINDAK Jack is also our official metals. He's the Market Mania metals provider. All right. And you can hit him up. How do they hit you up? If you guys really need to ape into physical metals, MINDAK Jack's got the special Market Mania pricing. How do they hit you up?
They can hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is right on the screen. You can give me a call, 701-566-5012, mindakgold.com. I can sell and ship to anywhere in the country. Safe, quick, friendly, down-to-earth service will get you some metals to your front door. That way, if the pirates come for you got a way to escape as well.
And
you take
be sure
crypto?
to mention...
What do we take? Everything? Bellagio chips, crypto? What do I got? What have I got?
Bellagio chips, crypto. I'll even take fiat as long as I can get rid of it same day.
All right.
Yep. And be sure to mention Market Mania sent you. You'll get that special MINDAK pricing. So
absolutely.
And that helps us out a lot too. That's how we get credit for it. So you can support the show by calling Jack, mention our name, support yourself, get some real money, and let's just fight this inflation.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for a heavy metals show of Market Mania today. Gonna leave you with my girl, Kay Flay, from So Fast, So Maybe. Goes a little something like this. Little did I know shit would get so crazy. So fast, so maybe. I'll get baked on the daily. Put my feet up, let my mind go hazy. Like and subscribe to this show right here on YouTube. Follow us at Market Mania Show on Twitter and TikTok. And we'll see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights out.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl. Switch it up. I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury of how we're turning, where how we're turning. Can't lie like it's Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine should've looked the other way. Couldn't clear space and my mind was afraid of the time strobe lights like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood.